Hello and welcome back to Necromancer, and I've just taken back one of my towns. Obviously this is not my town any further, I just allowed it to go to a vote. I mean, this is obviously not the town that we are at the moment, but I thought I would start the episode here because there is a very, very large enemy army roaming around the countryside, and we have to be very careful. Very, very careful. There's 2,200 units inside it, and let's just say we don't want to fight it. At least not right now. Maybe we can if a couple of the vassals decide to leave due to various reasons. Maybe some cohesion is lost or something like that. But anyway, we're going to go straight on in here, see if we can take this with minimal casualties. And yeah, I actually just attempted to take a castle. Well, I say attempted. I was successful in taking the castle, but this is what always makes me extremely surprised, because there was only, I think, a small number of units in there. I think around 80, and I decided against my better judgment. Yeah, I know. I don't really have good judgment at the best of times, but the fact is, I decided to just go in there without anything. So without building any catapults, without building any siege engines of any kind. So we just went in there with ladders. And that was it. Just ladders. Just siege ladders. And I thought to myself, oh, it should be fine, you know. We only have 84 troops to eliminate. I ended up losing 100 troops. Yeah. 100 troops. I mean, that is kind of fair, I suppose. I mean, I'm not saying that it's unfair by any means or anything, but I'm saying that my judgment was quite clearly that of someone who thought that they were much more powerful than they actually were. And as a result, yes, I lost a lot of units as a result of that, which was really sad, actually. It's pretty sad. But it doesn't matter. Most of them were skeletons. Not really that big a deal, and we're getting massive amounts of kills right now. Very, very cool. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're hopefully going to be able to take this castle and, well, this town, should we say. I don't know why I'm talking about that castle still. Anyway, yes, we are hopefully going to be able to take this town, and then we will be able to take a look at the world map, because there has been a bit of a rebellion in one of the territories of Mr. Balthazar. And I don't know whether you remember Mr. Balthazar, but he is the, as far as I'm aware, he is the leader of this particular faction that we are up against at the moment. And someone mentioned, I'm not sure if it was the member of the modding team or not at this point, because I think a few people said this, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, the point is, Balthazar is a very powerful individual. And the last time we saw him in a battle, he, well, let's just say he bombarded our entire unit line, and he got, I think, I don't even know, 40 or 50 kills in one spell. So, yeah, he's pretty strong. So we are going to have to watch out for him, because he is around. But the reason why I mention him is because the town that rebelled, that was his town. Oh yes, that was his town. So he has lost a fief just from the get-go, basically, which is really nice, actually, for us. So that means that we can make things much, much better, and hopefully it's going to work out real nice for us to just swoop on in there, deal with the rebellion whenever we want. That's the thing. We have full control over when we attack that particular fief now, because it is not aggressive to us just yet. Alright, so there we go, we were able to achieve victory. 104 renown. Amusingly enough, I'm still not clan tier 6, which I gotta say is a bit surprising, but oh well, never mind, you know, that's just how it goes. But yeah, it does take a little bit of extra time to get things, you know, get things rolling and here and there. I'm gonna show mercy once again, not gonna claim the fief once more, and we're just gonna donate all the troops into the garrison. There we go. Alright, so let's just level these guys up. And oh yeah, someone actually mentioned, I think in one of the previous episodes, someone mentioned that the thing that I'm doing here with basically giving my donation experience to the rescued troops and then putting those rescued troops in the garrison And then obviously I'm leveling them up and then putting them in the garrison there. Now, for me personally, I don't think that that's a waste at all, because I don't really see why that would be a waste, because I'm generally providing overall combat strength to my faction. So you know, I don't really understand why you would say that, to be honest, because for me, I value the bigger sort of picture about how our faction is doing, because let's face it, if my faction has garrisons made up of entirely, you know, tier 1 skeletons or something like that, you can best bet they're going to be very easy to capture, and the enemy is not going to hesitate in doing that, because skeletons, they just fall, you know, they just fall from a slight breeze. And well, much like myself, of course, but anyway, you know, that's actually partially the reason why I didn't really care about where my experience is going, because when it comes down to it, me personally, I'm not really going to affect things that dramatically in comparison to my own forces, or should we say my own faction's forces being relatively strong as well. We don't want to be selfish in that regard and basically allow the enemy's vassals to outdo our vassals, if you know what I mean. So hopefully that kind of explains things a little bit as to why I do what I do, because let's face it, some of the time I don't even know what I'm doing myself, but that is definitely something that I really wanted to touch upon, just so that you can kind of gain a greater understanding as to how I decide to do things and my thought process behind all of that. But anyway, we've taken that town, and now I can actually move on to, wow, oh, well, yeah, I actually thought there were more towns. I actually thought there were more towns to take. I think we just took Averheim, actually. I think we just took Averheim, so it doesn't seem like we even have anything to take, with the exception of this, these two castles here. So there are 2 castles still remaining, and of course we do have this one over here, Kreutzhofen. So that's obviously going to be a little bit difficult to take, possibly, because we do have to worry about Balthazar. He's obviously going to go over there and try to take that back. But maybe what we can do is we can take advantage of his distraction, and we can maybe take one of the castles in the meantime. Now let's see what actually Elise is doing here. Elise seems to be... Oh, there's Balthazar. What? Why is he running around with only 1 unit? I'm very surprised. I would have expected him to be running around with an extremely powerful army, but was he just defeated? Surely not. He wasn't just defeated. I assume he ran out of food supply, right? I assume he ran out of food supply. That must be it. There can't be any other reason why he'd be running around with only 1 unit in his army. That is absolutely shocking, to be honest. I would have expected him to be very, very powerful, but I'm not expecting him to be down on his luck for that much longer. I think that he's probably going to be able to gain an army back in very, very quick time, and then we have to worry about him once again. Yes. Whenever a fief decides to build ballistas, I always have a much harder time of dealing with the walls. So I'm actually thinking what I'm going to do. Can I call for any additional units? Oh, I'm in a siege right now, so I obviously can't do that. Yeah, that's actually something that I really... should I? Yeah, you know what? It's going to save me a lot of time in the meantime. So let's actually just go ahead and do this. There we go. Let's just gain a bunch of people that are within a day's travel of us. There we go. We got 1,800 in our army now. Oh, yes. That is very nice. Okay, so let's just level those up real fast, and then we're just going to go straight on over into our character screen, because we want to make sure that we're up to scratch, especially when it comes to our engineering, of course. Increase campaign map ballista accuracy by 20%. I'm actually not entirely sure if they've redone the engineering tree or not, but it seems like many of these things are actually pretty useful. Ooh, like for example this. Increase campaign map mangonel and trebuchet accuracy by 10%. Or as I like to call them, trebuckets. Yes, I know. Can you believe that people thought I really thought that that's how it was pronounced? I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Duelist. Do we want to go for Duelist or do we want to go for Trainer? I think probably Trainer at this point, because Duelist, we do have a shield, and we're not really doing any tournaments, so trainer is kind of the go-to at this point. And let's see here, increase garrison size or increase morale gain. Yeah, we'll increase the morale gain from victories. That sounds pretty good to me. We are almost level 28 as well, by the way. Let's go over to our clan screen. We are very far away from getting clan tier 6. It's going to be a long time before that happens, unfortunately. But at the very least, now we can get into a siege, and we can actually, hopefully, build our trebuchets just that much faster. So let me see. Yeah, I'm actually not doing the whole, like, you know, putting the trebuchets in reserve thing anymore, because I want to get this rolling as fast as possible. And I was actually doing this beforehand because I was super worried that Balthazar's army would come out of nowhere and then murder us. So that was the reason why I wanted to get things going as soon as possible. But it seems like maybe my my worries were unfounded, because Balthazar is well, so far down on his luck that yeah, he poses very little threat at all, which is still very surprising to me, but never mind. Anyway, we do have one section of the walls down. Maybe we can get the next one down too. Yep, there we go. And I'd like to destroy that last catapult, please. There we go. Daytime? Can I get daytime? Yes, perfect. All right, let's do it. Let's go into one of the final sieges of this series. And you may be wondering, well, what are we going to do next? Okay, well, this is pretty obvious, because this is actually the same kind of format that we had beforehand in Fantasy Calradia. And by the way, if you haven't seen the playlist for Fantasy Calradia, I would highly recommend it, even if you're not particularly a fan of the old graphic style of Warband. Because obviously Fantasy Calradia is a Warband mod, but even if you're not a fan of that, I would recommend just checking it out, because it has some very cool moments. We've got the, you know, Necromancer gameplay, and we also do have the, well, the next series, which is inevitably going to be the next series for the Old Realms as well, and that is going to be us playing as a warrior priest slash paladin archetype, where we are heavily armored, we have a lot of holy damage spells, and we of course have a lot of healing. Yes, a lot of healing. And I was actually partially thinking, can I actually get away with using a gun? Because I'm not entirely sure how that would work, because a gun is classified as a crossbow, right? In this mod? I think it is. I think it is classified as a crossbow. So generally, that would mean that my crossbow skill would be leveled up, which is really cool, because that means that I can then use crossbow-based units in my army and actually gain those skills, those perks that are going to improve crossbow units' strength and their accuracy and their damage and all that wonderful stuff. So me actually using a gun might make sense, but I didn't want to do a thing where we were literally using something that is so incredibly lore inaccurate. But I mean, to be fair, I'm a necromancer wearing light wizard armor, and yeah, that's not really lore accurate, right? But yeah, I just thought that would be pretty cool, because we then experience everything that the mod has to offer, pretty much. So I'm thinking a warrior priest that uses a gun. I know, it might be a little bit blasphemous potentially to the lore, but for the sake of trying every feature out, I think it would actually be kind of fun. And well, we'll see. I've obviously not checked anything out in regards to the spells that we're going to gain from being a warrior priest or anything like that. But I would expect us to have access to petty heal. I'd expect us to have access to the group heals and things like that, but I have no idea what kinds of spells we can actually use that are going to deal damage. Because I do know that the warrior priest gear and the equipment that you're going to gain does have, what is it now? Is it holy damage? Holy damage amplification or something like that? Yeah, I think it does have that. So yeah, generally those are the things that I'm going to aim to use. And we already have a name for him as well, which is actually kind of amazing, because as I said before, in Fantasy Calradia, we're very much following the same format, where I created a necromancer in the first series, and in the second series I created a cleric slash paladin archetype. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So it's pretty fun, right? Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty fun at least. Anyway, there's a wonderful victory for us. If we can actually... There's one enemy. Yes, one enemy remaining. Where is he? Are you... Is he serious right now? Where is he? Okay, well... I have no idea where he was, but thankfully it is now over. And we can now take all of these prisoner. Ah, I was going to say all of these, because I thought to myself there was actually a pretty significant amount in there, but no. Very small amount. Alright, so let's do this. Let's take that, and we'll donate the rest. As I said, faction strength actually does matter. I know. Maybe you don't think so, but for me, personally, I think it does. And otherwise, let's just move on through here. We will place all of these units in the garrison. There we go, 195. We also want to place a bunch of these in there too, so let's actually just upgrade those. And we'll put the skeletons in there, I guess. Skeleton swordsman, we'll put a bunch of these in there as well. I have an overabundance of those fellows. And there we have it. 335 units in the garrison almost instantly. I actually have no clue how a Sigmar army can actually deal with the necromancer spawns. But obviously you've got to bear in mind that these skeletons are very, very easy to kill. So I suppose that's the reason. That could be how they deal with them. But yeah, anyway, we do have the final castle being taken by one of our fellow vassals. And I can probably leave this castle the way it is, actually. I don't think anyone can theoretically take it, because the enemy just has nowhere to go. I mean, they really don't. They would have to... I don't even know. They would have to go all the way over to this place, but that is also aggressive to them, amusingly enough, because it is indeed a rebellion. So there it is. We have basically taken over the entire map, with the exception of just this one town over here. Oh, there we go. And they've also taken the castle. Very nice. And now I'm actually thinking, shall we try and take the final town? I think we will. But I need to... how do I actually do this? Can I can't declare war against these guys without finding some villagers, I suppose. Ah, wait, there's a vassal. Okay, would you mind, there we go, there's another one. Okay, fantastic. Let's just speak to him. Hello there, sir. I'm here to deliver you my demands. Oh. Huh. Okay, apparently I can't actually attack him. This was actually a problem in one of my previous series, where the final fief was a rebel fief, and I couldn't actually declare war on them. Because you can't do it through the diplomacy screen, as you can see right here. You can't do it through the diplomacy screen. And you cannot do it through speaking to these guys. The only thing I can do is I can theoretically attack their villagers if they have any. There was a villager. I should have attacked immediately, but there we go. Can I? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait on this bridge, because apparently this is the only way that I can do this. Oh no, never mind. There's actually another one. Do you think I can get them? Yeah, maybe. How do I target them? My army is so large, it's very difficult to actually target other units. Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna have to wait on the road, I suppose. Wait on the road, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to do this. I don't really want to attack a caravan, but I will if I need to. There we go. Hand over your goods. So be it, attack. There we go. Let's kill them. There we go. So we have now attacked. And I'm not going to be taking anything here. I don't really care too much about this stuff. And there we go. Now we are at war against them. Okay, fantastic. So now let's go on in. Let's build our trebuchets for the final time. And the other faction has now made peace with us as well, by the way, because of course their war exhaustion hit the maximum, and my forces are now starving, which is actually really, really bad. This is actually much worse than I anticipated. What can I actually do here? I could... We're gonna have to build some... We're gonna have to build some of this. Okay, one... we're just gonna go with one, alright? We're just gonna have to go with one, because I can't go in there otherwise. I have lost, I think, 80% of my army, specifically. And our other forces, I actually have no idea how our forces are doing, to be honest. But we're just gonna have to tell them to charge in, and then hopefully... they'll do okay. Okay, wait a minute. I just need to get over to my petty heal right here. There we go. And yeah, we were unable to obviously destroy all of the enemies. Oh, are you serious? Get out of here. Yeah, we were unable to destroy all of the enemy's catapults, so obviously they're now going to be doing some pretty significant damage from them. But look at this. Oh, fantastic. This is great. We can now hopefully get inside. Oh, never mind. Seems like most of my forces are just ignoring the siege tower, which is not very good. Please don't kill me. Not just yet. I mean, to be fair, I did not expect to run out of food. That is such a rookie mistake, right? Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Let me see what I can do. Wind of Death? Can I do Wind of Death right here? Is this actually good to do it right here? Not really, but we're gonna do it nevertheless. What? We didn't kill anyone. We barely killed anyone. Okay, get out of here. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. I am wearing a bathrobe. I am running. Get out of here. Thank you very much. Okay, very good. Okay, we're just gonna try and heal myself real quick. There we go. I can't see anything. It is way too dark in here. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. Okay, we're gonna have to be very, very careful. Alright, so how many units have we actually lost so far? We've lost 204. We still have about 1,600, I think, to go. But the main problem is we're not getting any units inside here, and I've just used another 4 mana. Oh, that was really bad of me. Okay. Did not want to do that because I've now wasted my last cast of Wind of Death. And as you can see, we actually would have needed it right here. This would have made all the difference in the world. But I'm going to just use Withering Wave right on top here, and hopefully... of course, yeah, it didn't really do that much. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I tried, you know. Tried and failed. But what are my units actually doing? I mean, I died right here, right? And I personally feel like I did have a small impact in this area, but then my forces were just not coming up the ladders as quickly as I would have needed them to at that exact moment. So it was a bit of a timing issue, I suppose. But we also have no one coming up here. You see how all of our forces are congregating around these two ladders? That is basically our death sentence right there. Because if my forces would just come up this siege tower, it would be a done deal. We would easily be able to do something here, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm actually just going to be ending the battle here, because there really is no point. My forces are just being way too weird about things, I guess. And I'm going to be disbanding my entire army as well. And then we're just going to allow them to run around. I have no food. So I am at 0. Huh. This is actually really, really bad. Yeah. Okay. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. Okay, so I'm gonna have to surrender right here. Wow, this is actually really cool art though. Look at that. We haven't seen this before. It's actually really funny how I'm just like, oh yes, we haven't seen this artwork before. Aha, yes, very good. But yeah, that's actually true. I mean, this is very, very cool looking artwork, and we wouldn't have seen it in the entirety of the series if I hadn't gotten myself taken prisoner. So there you go. That actually says everything you need to know. But otherwise, we are now at war against this particular faction, well, rebel faction, and that means that hopefully we will be able to return here at some point in the future. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be ending this episode off here, and as a result, the series too. And so that's it for Arcane Deathbloom the Necromancer in the Old Realms. But be sure to stay tuned, because we're actually going to be creating another series that focuses on a paladin slash cleric slash warrior priest archetype who just so happens to use guns. I guess that's going to be kind of fun, at least, just to try out some of the other features of the mod. But yes, I thank you very much for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you next time.